What's up, friends? This is the Soltera bike from Aventon. What originally attracted me to this bike was the frame dynamics, integrated battery, single speed with electric pedal assist. More on all this in a minute, but just for a second, take in how beautiful it looks. It's available in two sizes, a regular and a large. I went for the single speed on this one. It's got integrated lights. When it comes to speed and range, there's a 36 volt, 350 watt nominal brushless rear hub motor, 10 amp hour seamlessly integrated battery, 20 mile an hour top speed with a 41 mile average range. If you do pedal assist on level 1, and you're pedaling, you'll get like 63 miles. If you're doing no pedaling, just the electric engine, you'll get about a 20 mile range. In my testing, that's like, yeah, that's what, can you even see me through this thing? I found basically all of those in my testing. Couple benefits here. Number one, because it's a lighter frame, for an electric bike, 41 pounds, okay? It's still heavier than your average bike, for sure. But 41 pounds is pretty light for a lot of electric bikes. So when you run out of battery, you can pedal it pretty easy. However, in the single speed option, as this one is, you're not gonna have any gears when the battery runs out. You get a little key here to remove the battery, and it comes out like so. I mean, this is pretty great. It's a 10 amp hour battery. It gets you about 20 miles of range if you're just using the battery and the hub, much more than that if you're pedaling. There are 5 levels of pedal assist. There's a thumb throttle right here. I've had no issues with these brake levers or the brakes themselves. It's a little more forward riding style, a little more sleek and aggressive, which I think fits the look of this bike. It feels comfortable to me. Then you have integrated lights, red lights on the back and a spotlight up front. The light dims the screen and it turns on the light. On the screen, you can see things like distance traveled, speed, the odometer, stuff like that. There's also an app for your phone. You can look at bike information, total hours. You can even set a speed limit, adjust the brightness of the screen. I mean, it's plenty fast. And overall, the construction of the bike feels super nice. Why do you want to be on a bike? Why do you want to be on a bike? I like it for just like every time I get on a bike, I mean, given where I live, there's a lot of like trees and sounds of birds and shit. It's like you're really out in it. You know? It's such a surprisingly different experience than I'm going to my friend's house right now. I can ride my bike there. I could have just gotten in my car. And the moment I get on the bike, I realize 2 things. Number one, it's kind of nice to just like ride that plus minus. Like right now, I don't need any assistance at all. But when I need it, I can just click that plus a couple times and get into, get into some more help. Right? Texas. I just rode by a snake. Being on a bike, you're really out in it. I'm actually going up a pretty big hill. I'm on 5 assists right now, barely pedaling, and it's working pretty hard to get me up this hill because it's like not insignificant. I'm at a single speed. I don't have any clanking or banging of a derailleur or any of that stuff going on. And yet I've got this support coming up, and I just turned it all the way down because I really don't need any help anymore. Okay, we're gonna go up to 1, maybe 2. Okay, the thing is it takes a little minute. It's not a minute, it's, let's say 2 seconds. It's probably shorter than that. But what you wanna do is you wanna click that button and have it go like, whoa, here we go. I think my Tesla's kind of spoiled me that way. So you got a little lag on the acceleration, whatever. Of course, the other way is you just stop pedaling and use the thumb thing. I just keep it on 5 and go on and off. And you're doing the coasting thing. Because when you're out on a bike, you know, you're really out in it. Okay, so this thing is $1,200 at the time of making this video, which is surprisingly affordable to me. By the way, the link below does support the channel. I am not being paid to make this video. If this is a useful video to you, please use my link below. That's like how I put food on the table for my kids. So at $1,200, there's a lot of bike companies now just like using the same peripherals and equipment from factories all over the world, China, and you can't really expect a lot from a lot of bike companies. My experience with this one actually has been very surprisingly, all the interactions have felt really quality. Because it's got the single speed, there's like nothing clanging and changing around it. It's nice. From the moment I got it, the installation instructions, feeling the equipment, the way that these cables are wrapped together, how it charges. First and foremost, like I said, it was just the design, the frame geometry, and this is like just, it looks beautiful. I love these interesting little colors. I loved that. I love that I don't have a derailleur here, that it's one single speed. It's been incredible. I've been testing this thing for probably 5 months at this point. I've used it a lot. My kids have used it, right? We've really beaten it up a bunch. So when I originally saw this thing online, I was immediately struck by the design, the frame geometry, how they made decisions to design this bike spoke to, there's some real designers there. That's the first thing. Second thing, when it came, putting it together, riding it for the first several times, now riding it for several months, everything's really quality in this. It feels really good. It's a well-designed product. As I've mentioned, I love the single speed. There's no derailleur back here. There's no jiggle and jingle when I'm riding this bike. It feels really solid. Love that too. That's the third point. Fourth point is, maybe my Tesla has spoiled me on this, but in a electric vehicle of any kind, I want there to be some serious acceleration. I think the only thing I notice about it being kind of is the acceleration. Like, you want it to just sort of, it'd be fun if it was peppier. But this thing feels great. The acceleration on this, when you just push the thumb accelerator, it just takes a little while. That's fine. It's a little battery, it's a little motor, it's got a lot of work to do. If we really cranked it hard, we'd drain this battery pretty fast. However, I find myself on the hunt for, you know, an electric bike now that's like, gives me a little bit of that, that, I like that. That's not necessarily what you need when you're commuting. This is designed to be a city commuter, a stylish city commuter that you could still lift up at 40 pounds and get it up the stairs, which I think a lot of people can do. That's one of the better designed looking bikes in that regard, like for those purposes. So that's my one little gripe, is like, you know, I want it to go I want it to accelerate faster. I also wish the top speed was faster. 20 miles an hour can feel a little slow sometimes. However, when you're like holding a child and a towel because you're just going down to the pool really quick, 20 is plenty fast. In fact, I don't get up to that speed when, you know, precious cargo, right? So 20 miles an hour, fast enough for my commuting. If I'm pedaling with this thing, I can go a lot faster than that. And overall, if you're looking for an e-bike, at $1,200, I was so surprised that this was this quality. So, shout out to Aventon for sending this out. Thanks for designing a radical, like, I'm stoked on this. They have a folding bike. I'm super interested. I'm interested in a folding bike because you can just put it in the back of the car. You don't have to hook up the bike carrier or anything like that. That's kind of interesting. You can maybe get it in an Uber. You know, you Uber downtown, you ride around all day, and then you Uber back out to the suburbs or something. That's kind of interesting. If you have recommendations on folding bikes, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have an e-bike that you've used for a while and that you love, let me know in the comments. I'm interested in which brands are doing a great job. All this video is to say, you should know about this one. And my personal experience has been super thumbs up on everything, from obviously the design and the way it looks, to how it was executed and how it's built, to how they took care of the details all throughout, and then what it's like to use, 5 months after you've gotten it, right? So thanks, Aventon. Thanks for watching. That's it. Like I said in that one clip, being out in it. On a bike, you're really exposed to everything, and I love that. Maybe you live in the city, maybe you live in the country, maybe you live in a suburb or whatever. Just being out in the wind. Maybe like, I always seen footage of people riding their bikes in New York, and it looks pretty active. It looks pretty like kind of, you gotta be really on it, which I think, you know, being in the city, it stimulates that being on it, you know. I loved the first time I visited New York because I felt like I was doing cocaine. I didn't have any cocaine. I still have never done cocaine. It just felt like I was hopped up on something. I would go to bed super late. I'd wake up early and start running. I'm like, what's happening to me? You know, that being in the city felt like it was like, it felt good. Now I live out in the country, and I like it more. Riding this out in the country is great. You're out in the elements, the wind's blowing, literal like snakes and deer and birds and shit like that. I got a buddy that lives like several streets down, but it's like a 3-minute bike ride. It's perfect. I go over there, pick up a tool, come back here, fix the air conditioner. What you know about me? All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye!